Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Before we dive into today's video, do me a huge favor and hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. Today, we're getting into something I wanted to speak about a lot, my honest, raw, and completely unfiltered opinions on Blackpink. Right now, this isn't hate. I used to stan them. I love their music and their solos. I also noticed a major shift. If you're here expecting blind praise and can't handle constructive criticism, then this probably isn't the video for you. I'm here to be as honest as I can and avoid bias. My journey with them started like many of yours. I was obsessed. I loved the energy, the music, the concept. But over time, that connection started to fade as I saw things change. And that's okay. People grow, groups evolve, and sometimes that evolution isn't for everyone. So, with that said, let's get into it. First, let's take a quick trip down memory lane and recap their journey. Blackpink burst onto the scene in 2016 with Boom Baya and Whistle. They were instantly labeled as the new to One, another powerhouse girl group from their company YG Entertainment. But Blackpink quickly carved out their own identity, with a sound and aesthetic that was uniquely theirs. Their girl crush concept was fresh, a little intimidating, and incredibly magnetic. They didn't just make a name for themselves, they became a global phenomenon in a short time. Among the four members, two in particular really captured the public's eye: Jennie and Lisa. Lisa became known for her incredible dance skills and commanding stage presence. Jennie, meanwhile, was hailed as the ace of the group, a rapper, vocalist, and performer all in one. They were, at the time, the most popular members. Lisa's huge fanbase even gave her the unofficial title of Queen of K-pop, while Jennie earned the title of the It Girl of her generation. Then came the solo projects. Jennie was the first to go solo with her song Solo, which was a massive hit. This was followed by Rosé's solo debut with On the Ground and Gone. Then Lisa, with La Lisa and Money. And finally Jisoo with Flower and All Eyes on Me. After a mix of group and solo activities, it seemed like their focus shifted almost entirely to their individual careers. And they did incredibly well on their own, becoming global brand ambassadors and solo artists in their own right. But after a long break from a group to focus on their solo, they made a highly anticipated comeback as a group, and things just feel different. It's like the tight bond they were known for has shifted, and they now often look like four unknown people on stage together. I think a better way to explain this is like, they seem like siblings who were forced to talk to each other during a fight. Now that we've covered the history, let's start with Jennie. Honestly, if there's one member who's made it painfully obvious that she's over being in Blackpink, it's her. And if we are being honest, if she hadn't started her career from Blackpink, who would have known her standing in the industry by now? Maybe she wouldn't have been this popular. Or maybe she would have been still quite popular, but her current fame started with Blackpink, and she is treating the group like a side hustle, from the unprofessional performances and skipped choreography to being visibly bored on stage. It's not even subtle anymore. It often feels like she's just going through the motions, acting like she's doing us a favor just by showing up. And this isn't about one or two shows, it's a recurring pattern. If you watch any of their performances from the last few years, Jennie's energy is just gone, and it affects the entire group's stage presence. I already know the excuses some fans will use. She's busy with solo stuff, she's tired, she's injured. But these are the same excuses that have been used since 2018, and especially since the Born Pink tour, which is when most of the criticism for her unprofessionalism really started to gain traction. Recent clips that has been going viral, the ones captioned, "Finally, a Blackpink choreography I can do." Even non-K-pop fans have joined in on these videos, because it was literally her just standing around. Or the ones where Ross looks visibly confused while Jennie just stands there. This isn't a new act. During their debut era, she had great stage presence, but after Boombaya and Whistle era, that energy just seemed to disappear. But she just seems to have lost that spark. She has more passion when performing her solos than group performances. Now, it feels like she's coasting on past hype, and it's so obvious that she doesn't care anymore. She doesn't even bother to hide it, and fans still defend her like she's above criticism. Other members are or were busy with their solo activities too. Jisoo even had acting included, but she still puts in effort. And Lisa with the White Lotus. Jennie's solo music is good, and that's where she only puts energy in all her problems and energy disappear once she is doing her solo stage, and people do loved her solo. They are good, and she has one of, if not the best solo music. But that doesn't excuse her unprofessionalism during group performances. It just highlights that her passion seems to be elsewhere, and it obviously isn't with Blackpink. Some fans have even given up, suggesting she should just go solo, full-time instead of dragging the group's energy down, and there are the delusional ones who refuse to accept the most obvious things. Next up is Lisa, known for her dance skills and captivating stage. She had the strongest stage presence in the group. I am not even a fan of most of her performances because of how provocative they are. But she is an adult, and it isn't my business what she decides to do with herself. But I can't even deny she has the strongest stage presence. But she's another case where all that potential is being wasted. Let's talk about her solo music. Everyone hypes it up, but her lyrics just fall flat. Songs La Lisa and Money, Rapunzel, Rockstar, Bad Girl and more. These songs feel more focused on flexing and empty lyrics than on saying anything real. I'm not looking for some deep emotional masterpiece. Her songs aren't slow ballad or emotional type, and that isn't what I am expecting. But something meaningful to her is what's missing. It's like her solo music was made for TikTok trends first and nothing else. She's trying so hard to fit this Western pop girl mold, all money, cars, and designer brand. I know some fans think her songs are iconic, but let's be real. The lyrics are the most basic, recycled stuff of I am hot, I am rich, I am the best. Watch a Lisa dance video or see her perform live. You see the fire. You see the potential. But in her actual music, she's held back by boring writing. Songs like Shung, with Taeyang and her collab with Rosé, or even the one with Doja Cat and Ray, or Dream, or even When I Am With You, hint at what she could be doing. Something more dynamic, more artistic. But instead, we get viral bait that feels uninspired. Lisa has the fan base, the skill, and the spotlight to build something genuine. But her solo career right now feels more like a PR machine than an artistic one. Now, let's talk about Ross. Out of all four members, she's probably the one who has kept the most artistic integrity. Whether or not you like her solo music, you can't deny that it feels authentic. She's not putting on a fake persona or chasing the next viral sound. Or at least it doesn't feel like it. She's just being her, on the ground and gone. Toxic till the end, Number One Girl, 3am, Drinks and Coffee, all these songs, sounds like her. Tay fit her, they were hers. The mood perfectly fit her voice. And that voice? It's instantly recognizable and has emotion. What I really appreciate about Ross is that she still looks like she wants to be on that stage. She's not phoning it in. She shows up, she tries. She engages with fans, and she performs with respect for the stage. That effort alone sets her apart from the others these days. And even when her concepts are soft and emotional, she doesn't look bored. That matters, because half the time with Blackpink now, it feels like the group is just trying to get through the motions. But Ross still has pride in what she does. And in an industry where everyone is burning out fast, that consistency means something. She is real. And I'd take that over fake hype any day. Jisoo is the unsung backbone of Blackpink. And I am not talking about talent. She might not be the best dancer or the best vocalist, but she is incredibly reliable and has been consistent since their debut. She has never tried to be someone she's not. She doesn't put on an exaggerated character or chase Western trends. She's just Jisoo, and that authenticity stands out. When she released Flower, and a lot of her other songs, a lot of people said it was too safe. But honestly, I found it refreshing. There was no forced change of herself or weird image changes. It was a calm, elegant song that perfectly matched her vibe. Was it the most iconic solo ever? No, but it felt honest. and that's more than I can say for some of the others. What I like most about Jisoo is that she doesn't act like she's better than Blackpink. She still shows up, she still seems to care, and she performs like a true professional. You see the potential and passion in a group that's slowly falling apart. Jisoo's groundedness is a find. She may not have the most buzz, but she has the most loyalty to the group, and for that alone, she deserves more credit than she gets. The state of Blackpink. The sad truth is, Blackpink hasn't functioned like a real group in years. And no, that's not hate, that's just a fact. And the lack of variety is becoming a real issue. They never had much variety like other groups. People love to blame YG, and he certainly deserved that blame. Their comeback jump felt like a slap in the face. It was disappointing, and what's worst is that the company couldn't provide an album, but could put together a world which was a cash grab. It's like Blackpink has turned into a money-making machine, not a group.
So I just saw Blackpink at their Deadline World Tour and confirmed that the members are pretty weak here. Like, they don't have a ton of charisma in pretty much all aspects. Like, everyone's talking about their dancing, but even when they're just talking to the audience, they kind of have like nothing to say. It is the concert equivalent to Here Now Shut Up. And the only time I would say the members really shined was, you guessed it, in their solos. And it's not necessarily because they put in more effort in the dancing. Like, they were still pretty weak. Like, the backup dancers definitely carried the entire show. But
you can feel the disconnection. There's no team spirit or chemistry. Not anymore. It just seems like four individuals performing near each other, not a group performing together. And honestly, that makes watching them kind of depressing. And let's talk about the fans, Blinks. And before I hear, not all Blinks are like that. I know. I am talking about the toxic ones. Some of you have completely lost the plot. It seemed the lack of comebacks and content from Blackpink is affecting their brains. There's nothing wrong with loving your faves, but when you act like they can do no wrong, that's not support, that's delusion. Jennie skips entire parts of choreography, and you say, she's tired. Lisa releases a song with no substance, and you say, you're just jealous. Come on. Accountability is not hate. Holding idols to a higher standard isn't anti-fan behavior. But some of you treat every bit of criticism like a personal attack. The result? Blackpink won't improve because their fans refuse to let them be called out. The girls could serve cold leftovers, and some Blinks would still say it's gourmet. And then you have the solo stans, one of the most toxic parts of K-pop fandom. Jennie stans and Lisa stans fighting each other. Rose stans and Jisoo stans shading each other. It's exhausting. Petty fights over brand deals, billboard placements, and airport outfits have replaced genuine support for the group. Meanwhile, the actual group is hanging by a thread. So many fans are more obsessed with defending idols than they are with the music. It's not about artistry anymore. It's about streaming stats and social media clout. And that kind of fandom is one of the reasons Blackpink is in this state to begin with. Final thoughts. I'm not saying Blackpink never did anything memorable with their time as a group. They absolutely did. They defined an era. They are one of the groups that opened doors for girl groups in the West and inspired millions. But what they are now is not what they were. The passion seemed to be gone. The unity is gone. The energy is gone. And at this point, the only thing holding Blackpink together is branding. Not music, not passion, and not group ambition. Their synchronization is of. If they want to go solo, then they should go. But they need to stop pretending. Blackpink is still this powerhouse. When it's clear the members' priorities are all over the place. I don't hate Blackpink. I just miss the version of them that cared. The version that felt like a team, not four disconnected celebrities chasing separate bags. Anyway, that's all I've got to say for today. If you made it this far, drop a comment and let me know your thoughts. Whether you agree or disagree, I want to hear what you think as long as it's respectful. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more no-filter K-pop commentary. See you next time.